I am making old-timey bread and butter style pickles. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say, and this will mean more to people who's going to watch the replay, because there's going to be more people coming on. This recipe is simple as it gets. There's no pickling spices in this, because the pickles that I grew up having, we call them sweet pickles, or some people call them bread and butter pickles. It's the same. Well, it's similar. These pickles don't have any fancy schmancy pickling spices. Quart wide mouth jar here that I'm going to go ahead and put my cucumbers down in here and just get them right in there really good. And you can use pickling. Pickling cucumbers are best if you have them or have access to them. And clean them real good, wash them, and keep I don't peel mine. I'll leave the peeling on. And let's get them, we want a good jar of them. Now if you go, that I get, and it's non-GMO, I buy this at Costco. You can get what they call the mother. That's what this is, and there's no preservatives and no sugar in this. It is pure raw apple cider vinegar, organic. I'm going to use a cup of that, shake it up really good because it settles. I love apple cider vinegar, y'all. I could just drink it. I really could. So I'm going to do a cup. I love anything vinegary. So I got a cup of that in there. Probably got too big of a kettle, but that's all right. And I'm going to do a cup of regular distilled vinegar. So I got regular white distilled vinegar right here. So I'm going to do a cup of that. Yeah. Oh, you can smell it. That in there. So, cup each. Apple cider vinegar and white distilled vinegar. If you don't have the organic raw apple cider vinegar, you can just use regular apple cider vinegar. Or you can just go ahead and use 2 cups of distilled vinegar. Either or. All right. Now you're going to do a tablespoon of salt. And this is important. You need kosher salt. Not iodized salt. Don't use table salt, okay? Table salt. Let me get this here. I thought I banned these people the other day. Ban. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so I want to do a tablespoon of salt. You need to use kosher salt. Don't use iodized salt or what we call table salt. You need kosher salt for this. So I'm going to put that in there. Tablespoon of kosher salt is what I'm using. Now I'm going to get my sugar. My sugar. I'm going to take this over to the stove here in just a second. Now these old cups were my aunt's too, so we say aunt. These are my Aunt Patty's and I still have them, so I just love it. So you're going to do 1 1/4 cup of sugar. So 1 1/4 cup of sugar. We'll get this out. So I grew up in the summertime, y'all. We worked so hard. we'd put up everything in the world. So 1 1/4 cup. This is a 3/4 cup measurement. That'll do. I eyeball it. Now I'm going to put this over here on the stove, and we're going to heat this up just for a second. So what you got to do, basically what you're doing is you're heating it up to let your sugar and your salt dissolve. Is exactly what you're doing. My eggs are fresh eggs, so I don't refrigerate them. And you can do your own research, but that's how I do it. Hello, everybody. Well, they are bread and butter style pickles, so they got sugar in them, so this is what it is. If you can't have them, that's all right. So I'm just going to stir this just for a second until it starts to melt the sugar and the salt. Hello, everybody. I am making Appalachian style bread and butter pickles. And everybody's getting on here now. This is simple. There is no pickling spices in this. When I was growing up, my mom, my mama, and my Aunt Patty, they always did a lot of canning. I grew up in Tan Yard Holler, right down in the mountains of southeast Kentucky. When we did pickles, this is how we did them. And y'all, we didn't know what peppercorns were. We didn't know what mustard seed. We didn't know. We just did them the old-timey way. My mayonnaise recipe, if you go to the top of Facebook, you just search in homemade mayonnaise, Mountain Cooking with Missy, it should pop up. Yeah, hello, Debbie. Nope, I don't refrigerate my eggs. I don't have, Marcia, I don't have a salt brine pickle recipe. You can Google that. You can this is basically all, this is a brine that I'm doing, but it is for bread and butter pickles. Hey, Michelle from Nashville. Hello, Tammy. So what I'm doing is yeah, right, Sharon. What kind of cooktop do you have? I have a flat top, and I'm hoping to have a gas stove when we get our new place and everything. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing up, I had 2 cups. I got a cup of white vinegar in here, a cup of raw apple cider vinegar, 1 1/4 cups of sugar, and a tablespoon of salt. That's it. That's all I'm doing for my brine. And I'm bringing it up to like a simmer to melt the sugar and to dissolve the salt. I'm going to pour these over my cucumbers here in just a second. Yeah, some people do brown sugar, but we didn't do brown sugar growing up. We just did regular white sugar. You can use canning salt just as long as it does not have iodine in it. Yes, you can. So as you see, it is getting there where the brine is coming together and it's melting that sugar. Hey, everybody! My Aunt Patty was an Evans. She was married to an Evans, but my maiden name, my mother, not my maiden name, my mother was a Sizemore from southeast Kentucky, y'all. I got a whiff of that vinegar. Woo! That'll clean your nostrils out. Almost there. It's pretty much there. I'm going to turn that off. Then I'm going to switch this around. Now, I don't have a funnel. I did have a funnel. Maybe I do. It says, yes, my fresh eggs have not been washed. They came straight from the chicken house. Now, friends at church, I get eggs from them, so I don't have chickens yet. Maybe one of these days. So yeah, I don't have pickles. I don't have chickens yet. Where I'm at, I could have them, but I never really have. But I grew up having chickens, y'all. So I'm gonna set my brine over here. Put my brine right here. Oh, I smelled it. Got a big whiff of it. Get my ladle. Yeah, I don't have a funnel. I do, but I've misplaced it somewhere. Y'all, I have a little house. Yeah, Hollows of Kentucky. You probably know Juanita. Much love. Hello, Lodina. You Splenda. You could try to use sweetener if you want to. You could try it. I mean, if you have, I don't know about Splenda because, woo, got a big whiff. If you use a sweetener, you need to use something that has the same ratio as sugar. Does that work? I don't think Splenda does. So I'm just going to pour this right over my pickles. My cucumbers. And this is just going to just make them sweet, like I like. Now I can probably, let's see what I can do here. I can probably pick this up and pour the rest of it right in. That's what I'm going to do. Yep. Because I'm the only one that eats these. Kenzie and Roger like pickles, but they don't like these kind. So I don't make big batches of these. I really don't. Now, if you wanted to, this is what I would suggest. If you wanted to add any kind of spices to this, you could add the spices. I would add probably about a teaspoon each of peppercorns, mustard seeds, and celery seed. And maybe, I don't know, maybe a little bit of turmeric. And you could most certainly, and maybe a couple cloves of garlic. You could do that. You could add your spices to that if you want. I just didn't because, like I said, this is titled Appalachian style, or should I say Tanner and Holler style, because I did not have the pickles with all the spices in it because we didn't know what they were. We just pickled them like this. Y'all, and this brine itself, how will it take me? Oh yeah, it's already good. Makes me think of my mom. So good. Now, all I do, see, look, you can do regular cucumber. If you don't have access or don't have pickling cucumbers, you can use regular cucumbers. Go buy you some out of the store and just You can pickle anything with this. This brine right here, listen to me, guys. This is really good for pickled onions. I mean, you got onions, pickles, a lot. I mean, you could use this for any kind of vegetable that you want, that you like pickled. I really like onions. You could add onions to these if you wanted. I'm gonna add just a little bit more right to the top there, the band. And so you can add a few sliced onions to this, about a teaspoon each of mustard seed, celery seed, black peppercorns, and maybe a couple cloves of garlic if you wanted to. Add that right in there and put a lid on it, let it cool down, stick it in the refrigerator in about 2 days. Yeah, they'd be so good. So you can definitely spruce this up, but this brine itself is so good. You could use it for anything.